The Falling Forward podcast exists to encourage Christians to continue gaining ground in their faith. Please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. And thank you for joining us as we have insightful conversations about never falling back, but falling forward in the Christian faith. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Dakota.
And this is Clayton.
And you're on the Falling Forward podcast.
Our guest today is YouTuber Chase Jones. Chase is also a co-pastor with us at the church on Rush Creek here in the DFW area. We'll talk to him about his channel and how all that got started, his life growing up in Cleveland, and how we can use media and technology as a platform to share our faith.
We have a wonderful conversation with Chase, and we know it's one that you will enjoy. So, how far have you been into the office?
We're on season 4. We just started season 4, which is when, what is happening?
There's always something happening in the office.
I know, there's always something. Stanley just got an offer to a new job.
Oh, yes.
And so that's like where we are.
What's your favorite character so far?
Did I stutter?
Definitely Kevin.
Definitely Kevin?
Kevin's my favorite. He's just everything he does just makes me laugh.
See, my favorite's Creed.
Creed,
the creepy old dude.
I know, he's so creepy.
He's one that like has these random comments.
I think my favorite thing about Creed, I just found out, is like the actor's name is Creed.
Yes, it's his real name. He actually has music.
Really?
He's actually a good artist. He has really good music. What's funny, Creed reminds me of like the Joker. Like, you don't know where he came from. You don't know who he is. Like,
you just said that because he dressed up as the Joker for their Halloween episode.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Alert,
Them and like 3 other people.
Not there yet.
Wow.
So.
Well, man, it's good to have you on the show.
Hey, thank you.
It's a pleasure, man. So, for the listeners that don't know, Chase Jones is here with us this morning. We're all trying to wake up. So you are you're famous, and for so many things.
I don't know about that.
Famous YouTuber.
He's more famous than we are. But
yes,
that doesn't take much.
More famous than we are.
Trying to get there.
Yeah, big YouTuber. Well, you said in one of your videos that you won't consider yourself a YouTuber till you reach 10,000 followers or subscribers.
1,000.
1,000.
So,
oh,
so that was a goal that I had back last year when I was getting started, but I reached it. So, but maybe I should push it back to 10,000 now.
So a lot of this interview, man. So for the listeners that don't know, we all work together at church, and it's kind of a bigger church. So there's different locations, and so we kind of come together, and so a lot of this is just getting to know you. Mm-hmm. So you're from up north.
Yes, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. So been down here in Texas for like 4 years.
What?
Home to the greatest basketball player that's ever lived.
Yes, that's right.
Clayton is a huge LeBron James.
See, I didn't know that about you, but now that makes me like you even more.
Oh, yeah. He's the GOAT.
That's all we talk about is LeBron.
I actually went to his rival high school, so I watched him when he was playing in high school. But we went to rival schools. So.
But you watched him play like live?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he was a senior in high school when I was like in 8th.
So you went to, let me guess, because I used to I read his high school story. Let me guess if I remember. Roger Bacon.
No.
That's from Cincinnati. They played them in the state title. McKinley.
No.
Dang it. I don't remember.
I went to Walsh. So there's like a 3-way rivalry up there, and so we're one of the rival schools. For basketball, they're on like a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. So it's probably not the same level of rivalry for basketball, but
well, like before LeBron got there, St. Vincent St. Mary like wasn't really
right.
Like they were like good because just us private schoolers, like our schools are just good at sports. But then he got there, and now they're like
national.
Like they've had a handful of guys go big D1 and stuff. So
wow,
he kind of started a trend there.
Well, I just got done watching a documentary on his high school. I've heard of him growing up and everything. Well, of how big it was.
You've heard of LeBron James?
I've heard of everybody's heard of LeBron James.
I remember watching his high school games in 5th grade on ESPN, and I thought it was so weird that they were showing high school basketball on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
little did we know.
And then 2 years later, Tyler Hansbrough was on ESPN, and he is from where I'm from. So I was watching local high school basketball on ESPN, and I was like, "What up?
What up?"
And then I met him 2 weeks after that.
Wow.
If you LeBron, he loves LeBron James. So
I do.
It's
Hey, me too.
It's fascinating. We get a chance to watch these guys play.
Yeah.
So you're from Cleveland.
Yes.
And how did you end up in? Because you talked about you actually played. Where did you go to college?
So I went to Ohio Northern University, a small school up in Ohio, and played football up there. And then moved down here to Texas about 6 months after graduating. So I got married, moved to Texas, all in like 6 months. So it was a crazy 6-month period.
But so you got married and moved to Texas.
Yes.
Wow. Is your wife from Texas or
no? She's from Ohio too. She's from Cincinnati.
So what made y'all come here again?
School. So she was gonna go to physical therapy school. I go to Dallas Seminary, and so moved down here and started enjoying it. Actually, so funny story. We moved down here. I don't know why I said funny. It's not really funny. It's interesting, I guess. We moved down here before I got accepted into DTS. So
Oh, really?
we knew that's where I wanted to go, but neither of us were accepted in any school or had any job, and just kind of moved down on a leap of faith. And
dang it, you were just going to make it happen.
that's right.
Some nomads over here. That's
right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Leap of faith. But well, that's interesting. So you're from Cleveland. You moved to Texas to go attend DBU.
DTS.
DTS.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's wrong. That's okay. Wrong.
Those are different. Yeah.
Those are different. Yes. There's so many colleges in Texas.
I know, seriously.
It's like it's so confusing. And being from Atlanta, like I don't. It's incredible. There's so many opportunities. Literally, you can throw a rock in any direction. You're going to hit a college.
A college or a church.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. College or a church.
So when I first moved down here, I thought, in Ohio, everyone's Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
So I thought everyone was going to be University of Texas fans because I just assumed.
Not the case.
I've honestly seen more A&M fans than I have Texas fans.
Like,
I think their fan base might be bigger or at least more open.
Yeah, maybe
of course,
that's
Texas
it.
is not really anything to brag about right now.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I bought all this Texas gear, and now I just don't wear it.
Oh, really?
It's just been sitting in my closet for 4 years.
Hashtag bandwagon.
Hashtag bandwagon.
I was going to be a proclaimed bandwagon, but I guess not.
So it's been exciting. I guess so. I assume it's been exciting being here.
Yeah.
So what's kind of your background as far as your faith? Obviously, you know the Lord, but what's kind of the background there? Your family?
Yeah. So I grew up going to. You guys know Alistair Begg at all?
Yes.
Scottish pastor up in.
You went to Parkside?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I don't know if that was like a good thing or.
No, that's
that was going.
fantastic.
Okay, yes.
That is. I love him. His voice is
Yes.
just.
See,
angelic.
I wish I could have his accent.
Oh, it'd be great.
That would make the YouTube channel blow up.
It would.
But so he's a Scottish pastor up in Ohio, and so I went to that church all the way through high school. So got sound teaching from a young age, believing parents, oldest of 6 kids.
Yeah.
Grew up heavily involved in the church and all these other activities. So actually, my sophomore year of high school, we went through really tough financial times.
Yeah.
Actually lost our house and had to move out, and we're living in different motels and things like that. And
Wow.
it was a really tough period. That's probably the roughest period in my life when it comes to having to trust God, but it's also what strengthened my relationship with God the most.
Yeah.
And so from that moment, that was kind of the crossroads in my life of like deciding, do I actually believe this? Am I going to walk down this road or is this just all, make believe?
Wow.
And so from that moment on, that's when I knew that I was a Christian. That's where I kind of made that personal decision, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. You must have wonderful parents.
Yeah. Yes, they are. So they're amazing. My dad had a bunch of health issues just a couple years ago. Another time that brought our family a lot closer together, but he's doing a lot better. Just saw them a couple weeks ago, and they're
awesome.
They're great.
Do y'all get to see each other a lot, living so far apart?
We talk, almost every single day, our family. We have, whether we're talking in person or we have a big group text that's always going off. That's why I had to put my phone in airplane mode, because I'm sure it'll have like 30 texts by the time we finish here.
Yeah.
But my family's real close. We don't get to see each other super often since we live 1,000 miles apart. But yeah, we're still really close.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, are you the only one that lives away? Is everybody still back in Ohio?
So hit the mic.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine, man.
My 2 sisters go to college in Indiana, which borders Ohio, so it's not too far. So they're like not too far. Not compared to Texas, it's not too bad. So I'm the only one that lives like not within driving distance.
How far? What's the drive?
For us?
Yeah.
Before or after we had a kid?
Forget that.
It's been about 18 hours for the most part.
Wow.
With her, we haven't actually we did make the drive once, but that time was skewed because we ran out of gas.
Oh.
So, man.
Yeah, we just got a new car, and they put the gas, the gas gauge is like not within direct eyesight, so you actually like have to look at it, and I'm terrible at that. Like I need something that's just glaring, like, hey, you're low on gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so we ended up running out of gas, which my wife wasn't too happy about.
Was it like late at night? Or was it?
It was like right before it got dark. So, and then the crazy part was we called AAA or one of those, and they're like, "Oh, you're in a hazard area." I'm like, "What does
Thanks,
that mean?"
man.
Yeah. I'm like, that doesn't sound good.
That's funny.
But yeah, so we got out of there. But so that was a long.
So, when did you get married before you came here?
Yeah. So I got married in 2013. So
okay,
going on 5 years this
Going on
June.
5 years. And what's your wife's name?
Amanda.
Yep. So y'all, it's kind of fun watching y'all on the your YouTube channel. Because like y'all just seem like y'all just having fun. Like
Exactly.
y'all are living on love.
That's right. Yeah.
Me and Maggie always joke around about the old Alan Jackson song.
Yeah, insert Alan Jackson lyrics.
Insert Alan Jackson lyrics. Living on love.
Yep.
Buying on time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. But y'all seem like y'all are a fun couple. Y'all have a fun marriage.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. We try and keep it as interesting as we can. We actually, so someone told us we needed to start the vlog when we were in college. And I was like, who's going to care about our life? Like, we don't have anything interesting. And people kept telling us. And so we said, all right, well, when our daughter's born, we'll start it. And that's what kind of kicked it off.
Wow. So,
Of course, I'd be like, hey, none of y'all's business what I'm doing.
yeah. But before we get there, so you got married, came here. So what all have you, how long have you been living in Texas? You said about...
Since so actually 4 years this past January.
Okay, since past January. And what exactly all have you done? You're a youth pastor, correct? At the church that we work at.
Yeah.
You also work for, is it DTS? Do you work for DTS as well?
Yeah. So I'll back up just a second. So when I was in college, I took a Old Testament class.
Yeah.
And it's a Methodist school by name, but I'm not Methodist, but the school is Methodist by name. But it's about as Methodist as like SMU.
Yeah.
So it's not like, Christianity wasn't a heavy focus on that college. And so I took the class thinking, hey, this will just be like an easy Bible study. I know the Bible. I'll get some good grades, make sure I stay eligible for football, all that stuff. And so I took it, and the professor was like against Christianity. And so the professor was basically saying all this stuff, the Bible's not true.
Well, that's interesting.
Right, exactly.
Really?
At the, quote, Christian school.
Exactly. So long story short, that's kind of what pushed me into going into ministry, because I was like, hey, this guy's tearing people away from the Lord. I want to do the opposite. He's got
strong conviction.
Yeah. And so that's what kind of led me to DTS. And so when I got to DTS, I still wasn't sure if I wanted to go the pastor route or the professor and go into education. And I was actually against being in seminary and ministry at the same time. It shows how little I knew. And so I was like, hey, I'm not supposed to, do ministry and school. But I met Jared, who's the pastor of the Hanley campus where we're the church at. And I met him on a train, of all places.
Really?
Yeah. So
because I remember in every video that you actually take the train, you enjoy it.
Yeah. So when we moved down here, we lived in Euless, and so I had to go from Euless to Dallas every single day, and the train station was like right by our apartment, and it drops off right by DTS. So I took the train every single day, and Jared took it twice a week, and we met on the train. I saw him reading his Bible and getting off at the DTS stop, so I was like, he must be a DTS guy. So we met that way. We became good friends. And he offered me the youth pastor position, and I was like, absolutely not. And so then he offered me the young adult position, and I was like, nope, not doing it. But through my wife and praying, and my wife really felt like I should take that position, and so I did. And so I started off as the young adult pastor at the church. And then when we became part of the church on Rush Creek, I moved over to the Connections pastor. Yeah. And now I'm the youth pastor and life groups pastor.
Wow. And so what else do you do at DTS?
I work in the media center there.
Media center.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, man, you do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So I work, at Rush Creek on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I work in the media center on Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's wonderful. So you mentioned earlier that your daughter, what's her daughter's name again?
Ada.
So your Ada was born, and people were kind of saying, hey, you need to do this vlog. You need a YouTube channel. So that's what that kind of came about. Like, what made you want to do that?
Yeah. So I've always enjoyed making things and trying to create things. I used to be into art when I was younger. I was into that until like 7th grade, and my artistic skills have not developed since 7th grade. So it's not like I'm a good drawer or anything now. But when I first got to DTS, we had an assignment where we had to come up with a creative way to share the gospel. Yeah. And I made a video about that called "Why Do Athletes Thank God?" And it got like 1,000 views or so. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I had to do another assignment on the Trinity. And so I did a spoken word video, one for God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And those just kind of blew up. They got like, I think 40,000 views combined or something like that.
Really? Wow.
And people started subscribing, and I was like, hey, maybe there's something to this YouTube thing. So made a few videos here and there. And then last March is when I like really started taking YouTube seriously.
Yeah. Wow. So, because that's something that's really interesting about you is getting to know you. I've never really met a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And like, you're a youth pastor, you YouTube, you vlog. So
I just recently learned that was a thing. Like, people like
do that. Yeah.
Like, they do that. Like, that's what, like, people make a living doing that.
And that's what's cool. Like, there's this whole other side to YouTube that not a lot of people know about. Like, most people use YouTube just to search for funny videos, and like cat videos. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like another, search engine for videos. But the cool thing is there's this whole other side of YouTube, the YouTube community, and it's been really cool to become a part of that.
Wow. Because what as far as you talked about doing that, what did your wife think when you started making vlogs?
So she's always enjoyed the videos. When we started making vlogs, when I told her about it, I don't think she was never against it, but she just wasn't sure, like at first. And actually the very first vlog we have, which was when our daughter was born, you can see at the beginning, she's like, Chase, turn the camera off. Like, the baby's crying. And she's just kind of overwhelmed.
Gotta get this. Gotta get this shot.
Right. And so I think it's once she saw the first one, she was like, all right, this will be something cool. But she still wasn't completely convinced. It was probably not until vlog 5 or 6 that she was like really on board.
She was all about it.
Yeah.
Because she saw herself getting famous, is what it was.
right. That's what
exactly? Because I think it's kind of cool. It's so cool that you do this. But what was your introduction? You actually have a trailer video for your YouTube, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. Like, you kind of talk about how, hey, this is YouTube, my life. We love Jesus, and our lives are messy, and we're going to show you how that looks. Mm-hmm. So there's some other way bigger vloggers than we are. There's a couple called Sam and Nia in Dallas, and they have a vlog family, or they're a family that vlogs. I don't know, that sounds weird to say vlog.
Vlog family.
The vlog family.
Family. Oh,
yeah, that's our new. That's gonna be our new intro now.
Yeah,
take that soundbite. No, but they just seeing their life and how raw and open they were on camera. It's just encouraging. Like. And that's what we want this to be for other people. Mm-hmm. So we post a new family vlog every Monday.
And you also, like, Thursday I do
like a solo video, which I'm still trying to figure out what to call that. So if you guys got any ideas.
Standalone?
See, that's what I called it now, but that's just
Chilling with Chase?
Someone told me I should call it Cut to the Chase, but someone already stole that. That's
boo.
But someone with way more subscribers than me has that already.
Cut to the chase?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so good.
There's Cut to the Chase, and then someone else has Chase God.
Well, listeners, if you have any good ideas for Chase on what he can do with this,
that's way too Christianese. Don't use that.
The standalone
the
video.
God.
That's way too cheesy.
See, I thought it was too almost borderline blasphemous.
But that's funny, man.
Yeah.
So because these kind of videos, I've seen some of them. So you do Monday, and you've done it on a consistent basis. Like, every Monday you release a video.
Yeah, so every Monday, except for we missed one, but we've done every Monday since May 1st of last year.
Gosh.
So
has it been has it ever been like a burden? What I think is wonderful, because in one of your videos, you actually have film of your daughter taking her first steps.
Yeah.
Which is something that's incredible.
Exactly. Yeah, that was really cool. It hasn't been a burden, actually. I mean, there's been late nights, but that's one of the things about editing why I know that this is something that's like a passion of mine.
Yeah.
Because we're on vlog number, I think 40 something. I can't remember. Coming up this Monday, and I've never had that like I really don't want to do this kind of feeling.
You enjoy it. It's a hobby. It's a passion. It's
exactly.
Where other guys may work out or go hunting or fishing, whatever. You do vlogs, which is cool because it's beneficial. And
there's been times I didn't want to vlog in public, and I'm still getting used to that. Yeah. Because people are always looking at you like,
everybody's like, what is this joker doing?
Right. And it's been cool. Actually, in the airport's my favorite place to vlog in public, because then like I feel like you get a lot of subscribers that way. People are like, what is that camera for? And then you tell them about the YouTube channel, and so that's cool. But like if I'm just walking through the store or something, I'm still getting used to.
That's smart. That's actually very smart.
Yeah.
That you would do that. So because you have some of these, you have some pretty interesting topics here. I list a few as I was looking through them. You have a video about on your standalone videos, which is, has Jesus already come back? Is Christianity a white man's religion? Is Black History Month racist? Growing up black in a white community. Mm-hmm. Those are like...
Now, are those questions you've had or people have asked you?
Some of them...
Both. So, I started off when I was doing those standalone videos, and this is before I was doing them every Thursday, where I would make videos that were interesting to me. But then over time, as the channel's grown, so right now we're at about 1,100 subscribers or something like that. As the channel's grown, people have been asking me more questions. And so it's awesome. It's actually almost, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but there's so many questions that I can't get to all of them, especially if I'm only doing a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. So I've got probably like 20 something questions that people have asked.
Which is exciting for me, like, because that's in a lot of ways what we want to do with this podcast. Yeah. Is that and we were talking about this earlier, actually, before you got here, is how in our generation we really want meat and content and the politics and the racial issues that we're struggling with in this country and everything like that. No, the problem is nobody talks about it, and we ignore it and we look away, and we've done that for so long, and we're at a point now that we need answers, and yet the people that we should look for, like pastors, are not giving us those. They're not discussing it.
And one of the hard things about those topics is, especially some of them, like right off the bat, you're going to alienate half the people. Yeah. And so I've tried at times to like tiptoe around issues, and realize that just doesn't work.
Just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, there's the people. Well, like you said, there's the people that ignore it, but then there's also, this isn't you. That's not what I'm saying. But then there's also the people that do talk about it. A lot of them aren't really saying anything substantive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They let their emotions take over and they just spew all this stuff. And it's like, hold on, let's have a factual, logical, honest conversation here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let's get to the heart of the issue without, just getting ticked off and running.
Have you seen the video, the post I had yesterday on Facebook, and I shared it. It says, being taught to avoid talking about politics and religion has led to a lack of understanding of politics and religion. What we should have been taught was how to have civil conversations about difficult topics.
Yeah, that's so true.
Which is so true. We don't know how to discuss.
Right. And so like you were saying, I feel like some people just let their emotions get the best of them. Mm-hmm. Actually, there's a big YouTuber. He's not a believer, so if you check out his channel, there's kind of a language warning there. But a guy named Philip DeFranco. You guys heard of him at all?
I know Philip DeFranco.
Yeah. So he's one of the biggest YouTubers, one of the original ones. I love how open and honest he is when he's sharing facts, and when he's not afraid to share his opinion, but he doesn't just let his opinions run who he is. Right. And so he sarcastically said in one of his last videos, he's like, why would you care about facts when you can let your feelings be the facts?
That's right.
And so he was joking, but that's really how
he's being like facetious.
Yeah, but that's how so many people treat these sensitive.
That's how so many conversations are dictated these days. It's I just don't feel well. I don't want to just be a jerk and say, well, forget your feelings. Right. But at the same time, to quote the great Ben Shapiro, facts don't care about your feelings.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
As Christians, we should care about people's feelings. Right. But the facts don't. Yeah. They are what they are. There's a way to bring them up. But like you said, you got to have that balance there.
So do you guys watch any people regularly on YouTube?
Does Olin Rogers count?
I watch a little bit of with my free time. I watch random stuff,
okay.
Man. I was telling him like some guys I'll listen to like for different. I have a guy for diets.
Okay.
So I used to be big in the ketogenic diet, so I had different personalities I listened to or watched.
I might need to get some.
Yeah.
I currently feel like a guy who's lost a close relationship because I'll catch myself at 1 a.m. watching like those Vine compilations.
Oh yeah.
Because I miss Vine that much.
Yeah. There's actually a big debate over whether Vine, once Vine shut down and most of those Viners moved over to YouTube, if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, so they can get more creative, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But because you probably have a great community that you follow, and because I've seen some things that you actually support, like you kind of promote some different like there's one video that you were saying, listen, we're not talking about like this is the topic of the video, but if you want to talk about these side topics, go to this person. He has a great video on this,
right?
And that's which is kind of neat that you do that.
That's one of the things I'd love to, because that's so big on YouTube from the non-Christian community, but there's really not a Christian community that's really close with each other on YouTube, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So especially like with the Viners, you see, the Viners that moved over to YouTube, they all support each other. They're always
now you're seeing them like they're working together.
Yeah, they're
like
doing collaborations.
Yeah.
A lot of it's actually really weird. A lot of them like moved to Vine Street in Hollywood, and they like
there's a Vine Street.
There's a Vine Street, and they like live in the same apartment and make videos together. And I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but like
that's cool though.
Yeah, I mean
that is kind of weird. Cool.
It's cool. I mean they're young and not married, and they can do that. But I just wish that there was more of an effort, a group effort on YouTube of Christians that encourage each other and.
Well, I think it's which is something that I've been burdened by is like for me, as I feel like using this podcast is that I think what a great opportunity to listen to people's conversations, Christians talking about different things and different perspectives, especially us at such a young age, is where we have the life ahead of us, and we're gonna grow and we're gonna change. But for you, man, like for example, I was reading a vlog about a blog. It wasn't a vlog that was talking about how we desperately need Christians to start making scripts for Hollywood and novels. Mm-hmm. Like we're losing our influence, and I think when we look back in history, we're gonna be like, where was the Christians at?
Right. And that's one of the reasons why we like, and my wife and I are doing the family vlog. It's not just me on Thursday just teaching Christian or topics from a Christian perspective, because there's a place for that and that's needed. But also by doing the family vlog, we're able to connect with people who might not care about Christianity at all. Yeah. And so
kind of see y'all what's authentic.
Exactly.
Like what social media is like.
It's not just a Bible lesson. Like you're getting to see this play out.
Exactly.
In real life.
Yeah. Which is really cool. Cause I heard a pastor talk about this with social media. He's like, I think Pastor Russ said this, is like, we are always comparing our behind the scenes to other people's highlights.
Right. Yeah.
So we're comparing our worst moments to people's greatest moments on a consistent basis. But with YouTube, you can show both sides.
Yeah, and that's something that actually I hope we've gotten better at over time. So, and I think it helped with when was my wife used to the vlog and happy about the vlog. Yeah. I think as she got more used to it, we were able to start being more transparent and more real. Whereas when you watch the first, 4 or 5, it is the highlights. It's like the best parts of our week. Whereas now we're able to actually talk about on camera when things didn't go well, car accidents or just baby having us have sleepless nights and things like that. Just being more real and open. If we get in an argument and stuff like that, we're able to put that on the vlog as opposed to only showing the best parts of our life.
Wow, because I know. There's probably just a healthy balance. Yeah. Because it could be kind of like, for me, like I struggle. How do you balance that? Because I know for me, like with my phone and stuff, like man, when I get home, I have to put my phone down because I'll be on it all night. And
that's one thing we've been getting better at. So now that I've been editing so much and starting to get a lot quicker at it, I'm trying not to edit videos until my wife and daughter go to sleep. So I'm not just sitting on the couch while they're playing with each other and while I'm editing a video or something like that. So I'm trying to push that editing back to to when they're sleeping so that it doesn't interrupt that family time.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah.
I know, because I don't know why, but like with technology, there's dangers of it, obviously, but there's this kind of shame that goes with it.
Yeah.
Like, which is weird. Like it's okay that I spend 5 hours in the woods waiting for an animal to walk by.
Right.
But it's not okay for me to spend 3 hours on my computer editing videos.
Or even I had this conversation with my wife too about how it's okay to watch a movie for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But then it's not okay to just kind of be scrolling through your phone for 3 hours.
Which is so.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that, like, well, obviously with the phone it's accessible, but it's just drawn to always go to it, always a look at it. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. We're in a weird. We and Clayton are always talking about this. We're in a weird time in history.
I think it's this idea of togetherness. So, to use your example, if you're on the phone, that's an individual thing that you're doing. Like you, bless your heart, Dakota, I love you so much. When you're on your phone, nobody's getting your attention.
Yeah, I have really bad ADD.
Like I will sit on this couch and watch Maggie ask you the same question 4 times, and you will not hear her because you're on Facebook. And you'll do it to me too. I feel like I really just threw you under the bus there.
You did throw me under the bus, but
that's okay because you admit it, because you know you do it and you're trying to get better.
Well, yeah, because I will say though, the other night, throw me under the bus is I put my phone on the table and I don't look at it for.
There you go.
There you go. Awesome.
That's what I'm talking about.
To avoid my distractions.
But something like that's an individual thing. But as watching a TV together, watching a movie, you're using the media they're using the technology to do something together. You're engaging with it together, and therefore, in a way, engaging with each other.
I gotta say, not to plug one of our videos, but we made a video a few weeks ago.
No, dude, listen, you plug.
All right.
You plug your little heart out.
There we go. Yes.
Every sentence references a video that you made. Do that. This is a platform, man. Awesome. We want people to go to your videos.
Hey, well, thank you.
So, but feel comfortable doing that.
Going back again to doing a collaboration with other people, we were asked by another YouTube channel to do a skit video, and neither my wife or I were both not actors or actresses or whatever. But we did a video called "Annoying Things," we did one called "Annoying Things
Wives Do." I've seen that.
Yeah, and then they did the "Annoying Things Husbands Do," and so you got both ends of it. But it's funny because in their video, it reminded me for the "Annoying Things Husbands Do." One of them was being on the phone and the wife's trying to ask you something and you're just not paying attention at all. And I will say that
this is going to come back. This is going to come back to bite me once I actually get married.
Oh man! Well, I'll be doing it. I have really bad
this clip over and over.
Yep.
I have really bad ADD. I think with technology and everything, I have a short I don't know. I have a lot. Attention span is very short, but also like patience in general. And so like technology is terrible at that. So like when Maggie, like the thing is with Maggie though, like when she's told me the other day, she's like, listen, if I'm talking to you, you listen.
Right. Yeah.
That is true though. That's a good point. That's my biggest concern about technology and us as pastors and preachers and Bible teachers. What a great little nursery rhyme that was. But they say now that a millennial's attention span on average, you have 8 seconds to catch their attention.
It's like a goldfish.
Which is crazy.
Like after 8 seconds, they're going to, which is why you've got to catch their attention from the get-go or you ain't going to get them.
So I wonder what sermons you're seeing pastors, this is kind of off topic, but with pastors, they're talking about how they need to make sermons shorter and shorter and shorter. I don't agree with that. I'm finding that, like, I don't agree with.
Well, that's from this research, and I'm not sure I necessarily agree with it either. But the argument is, because people's attention spans are so short now. Well,
we were kind of talking about how we're big on expository preaching. We think that the Bible should be the forefront of what you're preaching, and so any good little lines and punch, all that good stuff should come after you present. I think we're both proponents of preaching through the books of the Bible and verse to verse. And I think we need to go back to that. And because I think our generation wants meat, we don't want little feel good messages, and so we're talking about that, man. Like if we can movies are getting longer and longer.
Right.
Listen, Avengers, Xfinity War. I don't care if it's 5 hours long. I'm going to enjoy that. Black Panther is coming out today.
Yeah.
Like it could probably be a 2-hour movie. Like our millennials are not going to be okay with that.
Right.
But with sermons that they want to make 25 minutes, 20 minutes. Dude, listen, I think the 50 minutes, it sounds crazy, but within that time,
Yeah, I mean,
if you're preaching the books of the Bible, if you're going verse to verse, that is meat, that is substance that our generation wants.
I agree. I mean, you know Alistair Begg. And,
I do.
And that's how he preaches. That's how I grew up, and so I couldn't agree more.
So that's just what we want, man. We want answers.
And that goes back to, that's something that I'm struggling with trying to figure out for YouTube, is what is the ideal length of a video? Because when you're doing skits or short videos like that, you want to have a shorter video. But when it comes to the vlogs, you know, people's attention spans are shorter, but we're trying to put a whole week's worth of content. And most of the people who are already big on YouTube, their vlogs are longer. I mean, they think of it as an episode. It's like you watch an episode on TV. So, you know, you watch a 12 to 15 minute video every week. And so that's just something we're trying to figure out, because we have some people that are like, yeah, we love these. Because ours, we shoot for 12 to 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah, every Monday. And most of the feedback we've heard is great, but there's always people that are like, you know, if you could shrink these to like 5 minutes, I'd watch all of them.
Ooh,
and I'm like, that's cutting out
which
about
is
a
crazy
third of our week.
Yeah, which is like that.
Well, I don't even know if it's the length as much as it is. I mean, the length can be, but I think as long as we're making ourselves engaging,
right? Yeah.
Like how many times do I catch myself doing this in the dorms, where I'll hear some dudes in some sort of theological debate, because that's what 18-year-old kids in the dorm do. They sit there and solve all the church's problems, and you'll hear it, and it's an interesting conversation. And not 5 minutes before, I'm like, I got to run upstairs. I got to do homework. I don't have time for this right now. And before I know it, I've sat there for half an hour and listened to these dudes just talk, because I'm engaged in it.
Exactly.
So it's not really the time, as opposed to it is, or maybe it's both. It's kind of a either and thing. So you've got to kind of find that right length versus, if I can catch their attention, I can keep them here a little longer.
Right. And so that's what we're trying to do. One cool thing about YouTube is you can see the analytics for all the videos, and so you can look and see like what's the average retention rate, and when are most people checking off the videos and all that, and we're pretty happy with our retention weight. I'm not happy with my retention weight.
That's very good.
But yeah, so things like that are helpful in figuring out how. I wish there was something like that for sermons, right?
That would be nice.
When is the congregation checking out?
Which is, it's crazy. It's this time as we're like, it's funny as how we go back in time. We read like, theology, Spurgeon. Like I'm reading John Calvin in class and stuff like that, and how rich the material is, and like, man, how much information we have at our disposal. And
the crazy thing about,
and then even videos now, audio and videos, like our children, like they're gonna have everything at their hands. And
it's a blessing and a curse.
And a lot of ways.
And look through our Facebook post, and
you're like, you look at your 15-year-old stuff, and you're like, oh, I thought I was cool.
Oh man, right. You see my Vine stuff.
That whole on this day 6 years ago thing that Facebook does, they're just playing with you now. They're like, I want to remind you what a dork you were 5 years ago.
Hey, real quick, I want to share with the listeners, man, the story you told me actually at church is you're a big Cleveland Browns fan, which is so funny.
Yeah.
That is
it's funny sometimes.
Which I think is funny that Clayton's a Cowboys fan, but that's just me being biased.
It's funny that I pull for a winner.
I can't stay.
Win a playoff game. All right.
Well, we like showing off that jewelry we have on our ring. On our hand.
At least we have LeBron.
We're eventually getting married.
Where's your jewelry?
2 broken engagements. Sorry.
Ours is in 1963.
See,
Jim Brown.
Everybody makes fun of them. At least they have something.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue.
You are. I'm not even going to go there. I'll let you go.
I feel like I'm in a jewelry store. I can't really talk about. I don't have any. Anyways. So you're a big Cleveland fan. So this year they went 0-16, and you did your own little parade in Dallas.
I did. So in Cleveland they had a 0-16 parade, which I thought was a complete joke. I didn't think they were really going to do it,
and they did it.
It was awesome.
They did it. They had like a full parade, cars going through, people were clapping, and it was just in mockery of how bad the season was. And so I was sitting here watching it in Dallas, and I was like, this is pretty awesome, actually. I'm going to go do my own here in Dallas. And so I just made a sign, put on my jersey, and just walked around downtown Dallas.
Because you got some like legit video and pictures.
Yeah. So
he said the radio called in.
Yeah. So on YouTube, it didn't, the video didn't get that many views on YouTube. But on Twitter, I posted it on Twitter, and somehow the Dallas News, what's it called? The Star Telegram, Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird because I did it in Dallas, but the Fort Worth newspaper saw it. And so they called and they interviewed me and ran the story about they called it a protest, but it was really a parade.
Oh, bless.
Wow. That's pretty. They call it
because
a protest?
That word I guess it kind of was because
that word gets people's attention.
Yeah, I guess if you have a sarcastic parade, is that a protest? I guess I don't know.
What is a protest?
It's kind of a.
What were you protesting?
I don't know. I was just talking about how bad the Browns were. So I guess in a way it was the protest.
That's a funny way to put it. A protest is a sarcastic celebration.
Yeah, exactly.
Just redefine that.
It's a sarcastic parade.
That's pretty funny, man. So, and then which is so cool because like you were on there, like I feel like you're just doing. It's just neat how this is kind of coming together and reaching people and stuff. And then you also talked about how you were fired from YouTube. Which is a video. I was like, "What?" And then you talked about this, but you had explain that.
Okay, so this actually goes back to the Viners coming over to YouTube. So if you're big in Vine, you know like Logan Paul and Jake Paul and some of those other Viners.
Logan Paul's back
that are just like trying to shock people with all their stuff. So if you weren't paying attention, they put some stuff on YouTube that shouldn't have been on YouTube.
Yeah, about the suicide.
Yeah. And so a whole bunch of advertisers have been pulling their money from YouTube, which for me, I'm still at the lowest tier level that I really wasn't making that much yet anyway. But so YouTube raised the requirements for what you need in order to be monetized. And I had just been approved for monetization by them. I just reached 1,000 subscribers on Christmas Eve. And met the view requirement, applied, got approved, all that stuff. And then like 3 weeks later, all this stuff happened and they changed the requirements. So I got a letter from YouTube or an email from YouTube saying, hey, we're cutting off your monetization basically. And you won't be able to monetize these videos anymore. So my wife and I, we talked about it and we're like, well, we're not doing this for the money right now. We're doing it kind of as a platform to encourage people. But, it would be nice down the road to make money from it. So hopefully, once we meet those requirements, which right now we're on pace to meet them in April, so it's not like the end of the world. Hopefully we'll be able to get remonetized and all that. But yeah, so we call it getting fired from YouTube because that's basically what it was.
It's a good title for the video.
And
I was watching that last night. I was like, that's pretty cool. Well, not cool, but it's just interesting that you're doing this, man. So before we head out and what is a mission statement of your not podcast but YouTube channel?
It's really Psalm 51 to restore the joy of salvation, which ultimately only God can do. But that's what I want him to use our channel to do for other people, so they can, realize that Christianity doesn't have to be boring. It's not just a Puritan, just perfect life, like ideal. You know what I mean?
It's messy.
It's messy. Exactly.
Christ's bride is messy. The church is messy. So
exactly. But in that messiness, there can be joy that can ultimately be found in Christ. And so that's what I want people to watch the videos and to see.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful, man. It's really neat how you're incorporating that, your faith into what you're doing, your passion. So as me and Clayton, we've been talking to different people from all various backgrounds and perspectives is how they're incorporating their faith and what they're doing. And that you're doing this. So for us, it's the same thing for us, man. Me and Clayton are looking at this as worship in a lot of ways. Yeah. Like we aren't making money doing this. Mm-hmm. This is actually taking some time, but we enjoy doing it because we
enjoy it and we hope it helps people.
Yeah, exactly. We hope, and we can glorify Christ through it. Mm-hmm.
And that's what's awesome. Obviously, I'm sure you guys too. Like, it would be nice to make money from it. It would be nice to make money from YouTube, but ultimately, there's deeper satisfaction, I think, in helping people grow closer to the Lord that money can't buy.
Yeah. That's wonderful, man. So for the listeners, I'd love to direct them to your YouTube channel, which we've kind of talked about your YouTube channel. Share as much information so that you can connect them with your outlets.
If you search YouTube, which I was actually pretty proud about this, if you search my name, Chase Jones, Chase like the bank, and then Jones, Jones.
Chase like the bank.
Now my YouTube channel is the first one to pop up. So there's a girl who I think her name's Brianna. I can't remember. I think it's Brianna Jones Chase, or I don't know, something like that. For the longest time, her YouTube channel was the first one to pop up if you search Chase Jones. But now you can get to mine. But you can search Chase Jones or youtube.com/Chase Jones 75.
Chase Jones 75.
My number from college.
Wonderful, man. Well, anything for those who go to it. Subscribe. They need to
hit the subscribe button. Post a new family vlog every single Monday, and then a personal kind of sit down video on Thursday. And if you're listening and you have an idea what I should call that Thursday video, let me know.
Comment, like, and share.
What do you think about the name Let's Talk About It? That's something I've been throwing around.
Let's talk about
it.
I say that at the beginning of every Thursday video.
Let's talk about
it.
I like that idea.
So
it's catchy.
That's what I'm thinking.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Well, man, Chase, it's been a pleasure to have you on.
As
two guys who were trying to do a podcast as a platform to glorify God, and also just to dive into the lives of other people who are called to serve Him.
Awesome.
And so for you as well, as you're using YouTube as a platform, there's a fellow Christian out there, at least we know, that is doing it the right way.
Exactly.
And so we're big fans of you, man. But listen, guys, listeners, follow Chase Jones on YouTube.
Yep.
Subscribe, comment, share. Do whatever you can to help support this guy.
And we expect all 1,000 of his subscribers to come subscribe to us.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. Yeah, do that for us as well. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming in, and it's been a lot of fun.
Hey, I've enjoyed it. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, we're out. Dakota Adair here. You have just listened to the Falling Forward Podcast. Connect with us at fallingforwardpodcast.com to join the conversation, access show notes, or reach out to today's guest. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. It is very much appreciated. The song used in this podcast is called Stunts by Artur Nelson. Find his music on iTunes or Spotify. And thank you for listening, and remember to keep falling forward.